Participants, could you please confirm that you are
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
am I correct? That audible?
Audible, sir.
Okay, but I'm hearing a low voice of my end. Shankar, I'm properly audible, right? Yeah. Someone has confirmed in the chat. Thank you. So let me also share my screen and then I'll take it. Hope now I am audible as well as my screen is visible to all of you. Am I correct? Shankar, is it happening?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Screen visible and I'm audible? Yes, thank you. All right. So once again, welcome all of you for this evening webinar on cost of quality and Lean Six Sigma. The objective now is to help all of you realize, the importance of approaches like Lean Six Sigma, right? How this Lean Six Sigma approach will be helpful in achieving operational excellence in any organization. In the process, you will also clearly understand what is this cost of quality, right? And how the Lean and Six Sigma approaches, the Lean and Six Sigma tools and techniques will help any organization to reduce the manufacturing cost by reducing the cost of poor quality, right? So on that note, just these are the outcomes expected. All of you should gain the clarity on operational excellence, right? So what is operational excellence? And the importance of continuously improving the quality, reducing the cost, and then maximizing the profit. This has to happen, on a continual basis in any organization, and then only the organization can actually survive. And then the philosophies behind organizational success that I'm going to touch on TPS, which is Toyoto Production System, and then Lean, then Six Sigma. And also I'll familiarize all of you with the tools and techniques. Some of them are quality control tools, some of them are problem solving, some of them are decision making tools, project management tools, right? Even communication management, and all these tools and techniques are important for the success of any project, and eventually that can lead to the organizational success. And also towards the end of my talk, I will also present all of you an opportunity, right? Certification opportunity in Lean Six Sigma. There are different belt levels that exist in Lean Six Sigma, right? Starting from white belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, and master black belt. So we have been offering those programs with the Government of India certification. And those of you, after understanding the importance of Lean, quality, Six Sigma, and operational excellence, if you would like to upgrade your knowledge and skill to the appropriate belt level, then information will be provided to you. And by the way, this is Dr. Gopal Sivakumar. I hold a doctorate degree in mechanical engineering. I'm also a master black belt, right? And I have balanced wealth of experience in training, consulting, and earlier I was a professor with an engineering college, right? And what is important for all of you is my experience in helping people learn Lean and Six Sigma tools and techniques. Runs somewhere around 6,600 odd hours, right? And that means every single minute you spend with me is definitely going to be very productive for you. And let's make the most out of our interactions in the program. Right. Is there any expectations anybody would like to convey right before commencing the program? Because quality is meeting customers' requirement, and quality starts with understanding your customers, right? I don't want to miss the opportunity of understanding your expectation. Anybody, if you would like to talk for 1 or 2 minutes, please go ahead. All others, you can introduce you in the chat box so that everybody in the meeting can get a chance to know each other. Right? So, another 1 minute. Anybody would like to say something, please go for it. We are okay to listen to you. Alternatively, you can introduce your name and native city and whatever you wanted to share in the chat box. Are you doing it? Please go to the chat. Or should I proceed? Is there any message in the chat?
Sir, one minute, sir. Your voice break up.
Yes. See one new message. Yes. I'm Priya from Chennai. How about others? All are from India or anybody from abroad? All are from the planet Earth, right? Anyone from outside? Okay. I need some input at this stage. Yeah, good. Kenneth from Philippines is an industrial engineer. Welcome, Kenneth. Good. How about others? Just tell me your name, your place, and any special expectation. Shankar from Madurai. Good. Okay. So you can do that parallel. I'll keep moving. Right. So there are certain suggestions, in fact, recommendations from me to make this program really successful for me as well as for you. You can prefer to switch on your video so that you can see my face, I can see your face, and we can have some non-verbal communication also, right? As I teach the concepts and modules, I can learn from your face expression, whether you are comfortably able to follow me or you have an issue, right? Or in addition to your queries, your face can also convey a lot of information. And also feel free to stop me and ask me the question at any moment, right? You don't have to wait till I complete. Whenever you are not able to understand or grasp any point which I'm explaining, the same instant you can just ask your question. So we have given you the freedom to unmute yourself and then you can talk, right? You don't have to wait for the permission. All right. And also, though it's an introductory webinar, those of you who attend the webinar fully, you all will be issued a participation certificate, right? And the participation certificate will come and there are certain requirements, right? And you just have to attend and then you will be issued the certificate. And number two, we will also have the second part of the program, right? Today for about 90 minutes, we will be discussing, and another 90 minutes of discussion will make you a certified Six Sigma white belt, right? So of course, the 1.5 hours itself is good enough to call you as a white belt in Six Sigma, but in order to keep the standards high, we have planned for another one more session. And those of you who are interested, you can come for the second session also. But how to join the second session and when that will be conducted? Generally, that will be conducted on Tuesdays, and you need to wait till the end of the program so that you can reap double benefit by attending the webinar. So day one, these are the models, right? As you already mentioned, quality, TPS, Lean, Six Sigma, operational excellence, and then the different belt levels and the Six Sigma methodology. And then on the second day, I'll take you through, some statistics, the fundamentals behind statistics, because Six Sigma is data driven. Most of the Six Sigma tools and techniques are, statistics oriented. So I'll give you I'll make all of you taste the flavor of.
Sir, excuse me.
Yes, madam.
Sorry to interrupt. Sir, there is some little cracking in your voice. Your voice is not audible properly.
Oh, really?
And it's very low also.
How is it now? How is it now?
Yet mic distortion is there, sir.
Okay. Maybe others. How do you feel my voice? Are you all comfortable? I think
Now comfortable, sir.
Now it's okay.
now it is okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, your voice is
Thank
now
you.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. Good. And, tomorrow, if maybe the second part, if you attend, you will gain an absolute clarity on what is exactly Six Sigma. What is the meaning of Sigma and why, what is the meaning of six in front of it. If I call it 7 Sigma, how it matters to your company. If I call it 4 Sigma, how it matters to your company. So there will be an absolute clarity. Even some of the green belts and black belts, they still have confusion on what is Six Sigma and why it is called a Six Sigma, right? But the next session will help you to clarify, and fully understand the meaning, the real practical meaning of Six Sigma. So with that assurance, I'm just taking you through. So these are the points for today. I've already highlighted. So first thing, what is operational excellence? Let us keep it, very, very interactive, and let us not make it a one-way kind of a radio channel or a TV channel for this webinar. Let us make it interactive. What is, first of all, excellence? All of us know when we studied in school or a college, we have seen our teachers, saying excellent to some of the students. When a teacher will say the performance is excellent, either the student could have scored 100 out of 100, or he could have performed better than anyone else in the same class. Am I correct? There are about 50 plus people now. After completing the webinar, if I conduct an examination, a small examination, if you secure the number 1 position, then definitely your performance will be considered excellent. Same thinking if your organization has organization gets, then the thinking of your organization is now considered an approach towards operational excellence. That means any organization, any product, any service, there will be competitors in the market, isn't it? If your organization wants to be, number 1 in the competition, then the approach is operational excellence. If you really wanted to achieve operational excellence, then your performances, right, have to be better than, at least better than your competitors. And Lean and Six Sigma are approaches that will help you to really achieve operational excellence. And operational excellence is not one-man show. It is a monumental task. Everyone in the organization should be involved. In fact, they must be committed. We need committed people to be involved in the process. Thereby, all of us can help the organization really achieve operational excellence. If I say the operational excellence is achieved, it simply means my product's quality is much way ahead of the competitor's product. My profit margins are better than the competitors. My revenues are better than the competitors, and my operational costs are lower than the competitors. If you can achieve these kind of situations, then your performances can be considered operationally excellent. So operational excellence is the execution of a strategy. What is strategy? Right? The focus of your organization to achieve certain goals. Any organization will obviously have the goals, isn't it? So organizational objective. And in order to achieve the objectives, they will have certain strategies, right? So the strategic goals are nothing but the goals that can be achieved over a period of 3 to 5 years. You should not keep on changing your strategy. If you are keeping on changing the strategy, it simply means you have poorly understood what is a strategy. Whether your strategy is pricing your product lower in the market, or is that your strategy is to cater to the needs of a niche market in your customer segment, or is that is your organization strategy is to gain the technological advantage, right? So there could be different strategies different organizations follow, and some companies focus on customer loyalty. Some companies focus on technological advantage. and some companies focus on a specific, a corner, a specific market. So these are all different strategies, but generally the strategies goals are achieved in 3 to 5 years time. So if you execute such strategies consistently, once a decision is taken that the next 3 years is meant for customer satisfaction, then we must truly practice that. All our effort should be focused towards customer satisfaction. On-time delivery should happen, and there shouldn't be any field failure, and all those things. Efforts will be driven, and really, what will happen? The customer satisfaction will be the best in your company. So such things are called strategy, and thus that must be driven consistently, reliably, better than your competitors, right? And as a result, the operational risk will be lower, operational cost will be lower, and revenue, everything will be better than your competitors. So operational excellence is a systematic approach for industrial organization to attain best-in-class performance in terms of productivity, in terms of quality, and in terms of delivery. So what am I saying here? You need to be best in class in terms of productivity, quality, and delivery, and definitely your level should be better than your competitors, right? So that is called operational excellence. All right. And now there are different business model exist in this world, and one is called the traditional business model or the classical business model. And we are now going to understand the difference between the traditional business model and the operational excellence model. If it is a traditional business model, right? And here the belief is profit is always considered to be the difference between price and cost. The price of a product is 100 rupees and the manufacturing cost is 80 rupees. And so the profit is how much? 20 rupees, right? The company also believes that quality means modern technology, modern machinery, and highly skilled resources. These are all required to achieve the desired level of quality. And in short, better quality means higher cost. If you expect a high quality product, then obviously it will cost more for the customer. So these are all the belief. If your company is also believing, all these philosophies, then the kind of business model what you follow is the traditional one. Coming on to the other side, the operational excellence model. Here, the belief is better quality means better business. You take care of the quality, quality will take care of your business. Better quality means lesser defects, less rework, less buffer, low cycle time, right? That means you are trying to do things right at the first time. You wanted to be, efficient enough, right? You are efficient to the, you utilize the resources, you optimally utilize the resources or utilize the resources, the minimum resources that are required to achieve the desired level of effectiveness. No, absolutely no rework and no buffers, whether it is raw material, whether it is finished product, whether it is work in progress. That means your system has almost become a pull system. Only if there is a demand, you run your process. No demand, you don't run your process, right? So if you establish these conditions, then your model is considered operational excellence model. In short, better quality means cost will be lower. It may look difficult to digest my statement, right? Better quality, that means, the best quality in the market, best in class quality. At the same time, your product will also have a very competitive price. Customer will have no other choice, other than buying your product, right? So your market share will grow like anything, and such an approach, such a commanding, approach is called, operational excellence model. I hope all of you understand the difference between the traditional business model and operational excellence model. Is there any question to me at this stage based on the 2 slides I talked about so far? Any question from anybody? All of you are good? Come on, guys, keep it interactive. And don't hesitate to ask any question, any fundamental questions or anything specific to your domain. Feel free to ask.
Hi,
Are
sir.
we going good?
Am I audible?
Yes, Hemant, I can hear you.
Okay, so sir, just one question related to the traditional model and operational model comparison. Here, if we talk about like if we will be using the modern technology, modern machinery, and then highly skilled resources, so at the same time they will ultimately will reduce the defects and they reduce the cycle time as well. So don't we can we say like just these are the criteria, like how we will decide. One thing
Very
is
good.
like if we will hire the highly skilled personnel with the advanced technology, obviously the output would be the same. And in second scenario, we with the existing resources we have to train them, and the same time we will get the output as we got in the earlier version, like in the
Fantastic.
traditional methods.
Got your question. Fantastic. Got your question. Very good question, Mr. Hemant. See, when you look here, we are focused on a specific mode of resource. Sometimes it is the manpower, sometimes it is the machinery, sometimes it is the technology, isn't it? So we are trying to make our organization, let's say people-centric here. People-centric. But what is required is our organization needs to be process-centric. Needs to be process-centric. Of course, I'm not saying that you don't require skilled resource. Obviously, people have to be skilled. But at the same time, if you fully rely on the skill of the employees, for anything goes wrong, if your tendency is to criticize the employees directly, and that means the model is traditional model. If failure happens, instead of criticizing your employees, if you are able to criticize your processes, criticize your systems, then your thinking is matured. Operational excellence model. And also when we say operational excellence and Lean Six Sigma and things like that, it doesn't mean that we have to immediately acquire new machines and then change all the people. Absolutely no. We need to really look at the process. We need to understand how good our processes are currently and what is our actual expectation from the process, and right, what is our actual expectation from the process. And then if there is a gap, we really have to enhance the capability of the process. So with the same set of manpower, same set of resources, at a higher level of capability, we are making our process outputs very effectively as well as efficiently, right? So that's how the operational excellence model thinking differs from the one. We need to be process-centric and system-based.
Okay, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you, sir.
Yeah.
Got your point.
Yeah. Now, when I say cost of quality, what is it? If you really wanted to produce a quality product or you wanted to achieve a desired level of quality, you have to do a lot of work, isn't it? You will actually design a product and then you develop processes and then you will hire people so that they can manage the process, control the process. Thereby the same process can produce the products meeting the customer's expectations. So that means there are a lot of work you have been doing to ensure you actually produce the product at the desired level of quality. The cost associated is called as cost of quality. And the cost of quality can be broadly divided into two categories. One is cost of conformance, other one is cost of non-conformance. What is this cost of conformance? You are putting a lot of effort, you are consuming a lot of resources to produce a product, and the product absolutely conforms to the requirement of the customer. And the cost associated is called cost of conformance. You can also call it as cost of good quality. You can also call it as cost of good quality. On the other hand, what happens in spite of your best efforts to produce product conforming to the customer's expectation, there will be failures. Hope all of you agree with me, isn't it? Isn't it? So those are otherwise called as non-conformances. Nothing but some defects happens. And the cost associated with the non-conformance, because you produced a product but it is not actually, meeting the customer's expectation. And so customer is now not willing to pay for it. So you actually end up rejecting those products, right? And such costs are called, cost of non-conformance, otherwise called cost of failures, otherwise called as cost of poor quality. So there are two terminology exist. One is cost of good quality, otherwise the cost of conformance. On the other hand, you also have cost of poor quality, which is nothing but the cost associated with the failures. And again, the failures can be internal, failures can be external. What is an internal failure and what is an external failure? If the failure is detected internally by the organization, then it can be considered as an internal failure. If the failure is detected outside of the organization, like your customer detects a failure, and now the failure is called an external failure. So which is dangerous? The internal failure is dangerous or external failure is more dangerous? Obviously, the external failure will be more dangerous, isn't it? You will also lose your brand image, and then the word of mouth will spread in the market. There are many consequences. And also, even if you wanted to correct the failure, you will be putting double the effort, triple the effort, because you have to send your executive to the field to correct it, right? So external failures are the worst things that can happen in any company, right? And now coming to the graph. The x-axis talks about the quality level. The y-axis talks about the cost associated, right, in achieving the desired level of quality. In the initial stages, you will be adding a lot of efforts to achieve the desired level of quality, right? So your cost of good quality will continuously increase, right? Because you wanted to increase the quality level. As the quality level increases, the cost of good quality will continuously increase. All of you are able to understand the upward trend of this curve. This is what is called cost of good quality. As the product quality continuously increases, what will happen to the failure? Initially, when the quality levels are low, there will be more failures. If you continually improve the quality levels, what will happen? The failure cost will come down. All of you are with me on this? The upward trend of the cost of good quality curve, and then the downward trend of the cost of poor quality curve. Am I correct? Yes or no? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Very good, right? And now, see here, when I combine the two curves, the curve will look like this. What is this curve? This curve is summation of the good quality and the poor quality. So initially the curve is coming down. That means the effort you are putting in to improve the quality helps in considerable reduction of the failure cost. And that is why the curve is coming down continuously. But after some point of time, though you put efforts to improve the quality, the benefits your efforts are giving are lower than the efforts you are actually putting. And that's why again the curve started going up. So the lowermost point in this total quality cost, this point is generally considered the acceptable quality level. What is it called as? The acceptable quality level. That means you can definitely improve the quality up to this point. But if you wanted to improve the quality even beyond the acceptable quality level, then you need to have a specific reason, right? Why do you want to go beyond? Because the further improvement, is at the cost of your profit, right? You may have to compromise on your profit because, though you improve the quality beyond this point, you will not be able to maximize the profit. But up to this point, your profit will get maximized continuously. But beyond this point, the improvement happens at the expense of your downsizing of your profit. So this is called acceptable quality level or desirable quality level. And now, cost of good quality can be of two types. One is prevention, another one is uppricing. What is prevention? All the activities that you are doing in your company to prevent a failure from happening. The cost associated is called appraisal cost. For example, you are doing a design review, you are writing SOPs, you have some quality management systems followed in your company. So all of them, why are you doing? You are trying to prevent the failure, right? the possible risk of failure you are reducing. So that is called, prevention activity. And also everything is in place, but still you wanted to be doubly sure. You will do a lot of appraisals, isn't it? Some quality checking and some audit, right? And reviews, and all those things are happening. So those are called appraisal. But both of them are considered cost of good quality, right? But in spite of the prevention, in spite of the appraisal, if still the outputs are not good, the cost associated will be cost of failures or cost of poor quality. And what is this graph? I have explained you the quality cost curve. And now this is your revenue curve. And look here, this is the point where the difference between the revenue curve and the quality cost curve will be maximum. That means your profit gets maximized at this point. What is that point? Acceptable quality level. Right. Hope all of you understood that discussion. And now let us talk about cost of poor quality. Right. Generally, organizations believe that the cost of poor quality is approximately around 2 to 5%. 2 to 5% is the cost of poor quality. But the reality is completely different. The reality is completely different because generally organizations tend to measure only the visible portion of the failures. What are they tend to measure? They tend to measure only the visible portion of the failures. What are those visible portion of the failures? The rejections, the warranty claims, the repair, the rework, recall. These are all familiar and common form of failure. The common failures, right? Which any company quickly understands, right? And those are called, the visible portion of the cost of poor quality. When you account the visible portion of the cost of poor quality, you are right. The cost of poor quality will be costing around 4 to 5% of the sales. And now, when you look at my slide, there is an iceberg here. Hope all of you are able to see the iceberg. Am I correct? You can see the iceberg, right? But when I again ask you the question, are you seeing the iceberg or you are seeing only the tip of the iceberg? What will be the answer? Can I get an answer here?
Seeing only the tip of the iceberg.
We are seeing only the tip of the iceberg. That means the bigger portion of the iceberg is hidden inside the water. Similarly, whatever cost of poor quality that the organization is able to see right now, it's only a small portion of the iceberg. The major portion of the failures, there are a lot of failures are hidden in any organization. So organization must learn to visualize those failures, then they get a clear picture of the cost of poor quality. Now for your benefit, I'm going to uncover the water here. So now I have uncovered. Can you now understand the hidden portion of the iceberg is much more bigger in size than the visible portion? And same is the logic and scenario with the cost of poor quality also. When you also account the invisible portion of the cost of poor quality, and the organization can now realize 20 to 45% of their sales they have been burning in the form of cost of poor quality. And these are the monsters, right? I've expressed them. A few examples, right? Longer setup time, longer cycle time. The organization could never have thought that having a longer cycle time could contribute to failures. But actually, this will contribute to failure that will eat your profit. Hope all of you agree with me, isn't it? Having a longer cycle time, will it eat your profit? Definitely it will eat your profit. Having excess inventory, will it eat your profit? Definitely it will eat your profit, right? Having a lower equipment effectiveness, yes, that will eat your profit. Anything that can eat your profit should be considered a cost of poor quality. You should not do such activities. Either you eliminate, if elimination is not possible, at least reduce, right? If you don't understand this, all these monsters will eat away all your profit, and then your profit margins will be very, very thin, right? So either Lean or Six Sigma, both of them will help you to reduce the cost of poor quality and thereby will reduce your operational cost. If you want me direct, answer what Lean is doing and what Six Sigma is doing, Six Sigma will reduce the cost of poor quality. Lean will reduce your operational cost. Six Sigma will focus on your effectiveness. Lean will focus on your efficiency. What is effectiveness? How good you are in meeting your customer's expectation. How capable you are in meeting your customer's expectation. That is Six Sigma. How efficient you are, right? How efficient you are in utilizing the resources while fulfilling the customer's expectation. That is taken care by Lean. In fact, for any business, both are important. You need to be effective. You need to be efficient. If you are very effective, your customers will be very, very happy. If you are efficient, your organization will also be happy. What is the best scenario? The best scenario is win-win. Customers should also feel happy. Business should also feel happy. And that's the reason why Lean and Six Sigma are always now used as an integrated approach. Please note, Lean Six Sigma can be used as an operational excellence approach, right? And for that, people in the organization have to be equipped on the principles and philosophies of the Lean and Six Sigma approaches. And they have to be equipped on Lean Six Sigma tools and techniques. Only once people are equipped to understand the approach and understand the power of the tools and techniques, they can actually practice them and then drive the organizations towards success. Hope all of you have understood the points here with this slide. All right. So now I have a question to the audience now. I've been showing different cars here, isn't it? Can you try to answer this question? Which car is a quality car? You can either type in the chat box or you can speak out your answer. Come on, guys, you can respond. Whatever comes to your mind, please transparently share your answer to the question. I'll help you, with my opinion also. Very good. And I could see somebody saying BMW and one more answer supporting BMW. And then 2 people only have answered. Now the third person also said BMW. Now Venkatesh said Hyundai and Maruti. I like this answer. And again, Mano said BMW. That means out of the answers, I could see half of them supports BMW and maybe some 30% supports Hyundai and Maruti, right? And now, if I ask you a question tomorrow, if you want to buy a car, which one you will actually decide to buy? Those of you who said BMW is the quality car, will you actually end up buying BMW tomorrow if you want to buy? The answer may be yes, maybe no also, isn't it? So that means quality should be looked at from the customer's perspective. From the customer's perspective. If you ask me, I'll say all these cars are quality cars. All these cars are quality cars. Thousands and lakhs of units have been produced and sold in the market. Without quality, how can you sell it to millions of customers? So all of them are quality cars. The only difference is customer segment. When you come to the Renault Kwid, the segment of customer is different. When you come to BMW, the segment of customer is completely different. The major difference is for Kwid, the budget that is there in the mind of the customer is 5 to 6 lakhs. Whereas when it comes to BMW, the budget is definitely 50 to 60 lakhs. Hope you understand the difference in the customer segment. Customer segment, when I mean customer segment, there are lot of people, right, in that segment who have the expectations from the product. If you ask the correct customer segment, the people from the correct customer segment, they will help you to understand their requirement. Yeah, as long as your product meets their requirement, your product can be considered a quality product, isn't it? Often we confuse quality with the luxury, right? BMW alone is not the quality car. All the car can be quality cars. What is the definition for quality? It should meet the customer's requirement, right? Now, all of you are my customers. If you can comfortably learn from me, I can consider this webinar as, the quality webinar, isn't it? I can consider the webinar to be best in class. I can consider the webinar to be world class. So what is required? All of you should be able to appreciate it, isn't it? All of you should be able to understand. There has to be effectiveness. There has to be efficiency. Within the allotted 90 minutes or 100 minutes, how effective you are to deliver the scheduled planned content in a way that everyone listening to you could understand. That is called effectiveness. So you need effectiveness as well as efficiency, and thereby your customer can be happy and as well as your business can be happy. So the answer to this question is all the cars can be quality cars. And now, what is quality? Simply stated, quality comes from meeting customer expectation. In order to make it happen, there are 4 activities you must understand. The first activity, understand your customer requirement. That is what I tried in the webinar also. I allotted 2 minutes, but I was not so much successful, isn't it? Only 1 or 2 of you spoke, right? So any organization, if they are targeting for a best-in-class quality, the first thing they should do is they must fully understand the customer requirement, right? Either you can have a proactive approach or a reactive approach, right? Use as many tools as possible. Voice of customer, voice of business, tools like Kano model, tools like quality function deployment. Use anything that you want to use, and ultimately, what is the requirement? The customer's requirements should be, you should be able to thoroughly understand. If you have a problem in just understanding your customer's requirement, do you think you will produce a quality product? Obviously no, isn't it? The first step, understand customer's requirement. Then step number 2, design products, design services that satisfy those requirements. Now the design is ready. Prototype is also ready, right? So design is ready, prototype is ready, and the design is as per the customer's requirement. And now you will develop processes because you wanted to manufacture the product, isn't it? You wanted to manufacture the product, you wanted to offer the service. So you will now think of developing the process that are capable of producing those goods and services. It could be machining, it could be joining, it could be heat treatment, it could be assembly, it could be packaging, it could be billing. Everything is required, isn't it? So you need to develop processes that are really capable of producing those goods and services meeting the customer requirement. Now the job is not yet over. Now you need to see to that the people in the organization are able to manage and control the process so that the capability can be maintained consistently in the long run, isn't it? Because you wanted to produce products and then supply to the market considerably over a longer period of time, maybe for next 3 years, isn't it? So it is important people in your organization maintain the capability of the process consistently. It is for that reason any organization requires people like all of you. Otherwise, absolutely no organization can rely on the machines and technologies, isn't it? Because the variation is rule of the nature. Though you build a process will tend to deteriorate. Process will tend to deviate. The outputs will tend to deviate from the targets. So this is rule of the nature, right? So there has to be somebody who should monitor those deviations. Statistically, we call them variations, and control the variations so that the output that comes from your factory or comes from your organization can always satisfy your customers. Do all of you understand these four activities that are required to produce a quality product? Or do you think one of the activity can be removed? Is that one of the activity can be removed or all four are required? What is your opinion? Come on, what do you think? Is that all the four activities are required? Yes? I need an yes. Okay. Yes. I could see some answers in the chat. Very good. Thank you. So please note, we are now matured enough to understand that organization needs to be process centric. Organization needs to be process centric, and process improvement, should be a continuous journey. And then only what will happen, your products can meet the changing requirements of your customer. Otherwise, what will happen? The same process will produce only same result, but customer requirement keeps on changing, isn't it? Every single day, they have a lot of expectations. So as the customer requirement changes, accordingly, your process capability should also improve, right? So process improvement is an important activity that every organization should undertake continuously. The process improvement is otherwise called as a Six Sigma project. Is otherwise called as a Six Sigma project. You will understand that, or a lean project, or it can be called as a lean Six Sigma project, right? You will thoroughly understand what is a lean project, what is a Six Sigma project, and what is a lean Six Sigma project, maybe, at the next level of the training programs. So a process will have two, kind of parameters. One is effectiveness, another one is efficiency. I already talked about effectiveness means your ability to meet your customer's requirement. Your ability to meet your customer's requirement. And if you are not able to meet the customer's requirement, and that means, you are ineffective. For example, I've been conducting this webinar, but you are not able to grasp the point. That means the webinar is ineffective, isn't it? But everything that I can explain, you are able to understand, you are able to correlate to your process, your business, right? And that means the webinar is effective, right? So the ineffectiveness in any process is termed as defect. The ineffectiveness in any process is termed as defect, right? And on the other hand, efficiency. What is efficiency? We use only just required resources. That means I don't overutilize the resource. I also make sure I don't underutilize the resource. That means my focus is on optimal utilization of the resource to achieve the required level of the effectiveness. This is called efficiency. What is efficiency? Don't overutilize, don't underutilize any resource in your organization. It can be manpower, it can be machineries, it can be time, isn't it? It can be anything, right? So inefficiency is termed as waste. So eliminating the wasteful activities in any business process is nothing but lean. Eliminating the defects or reducing the defects, from any business process is considered a Six Sigma approach or a Six Sigma project. Hope all of you understand what is effectiveness, what is efficiency. Effectiveness can never be compromised because it will destroy your customer's opinion about the product, isn't it? So effectiveness can never be compromised and efficiency must be optimized, because the goal of any business, though it is to satisfy the customer, it is important to understand the business expectation also, isn't it? The business is running for some profit. Business has to run for profit, isn't it? If you really don't make profit, then your market share will go down, the share price will go down, and some of your stakeholders will definitely get affected. So in my opinion, a good business will take care of all the stakeholders' requirement, not just the end user of the product, right? So any doubts on effectiveness or efficiency? Any question anybody would like to ask before I move on? All of you are good so far? Come on, guys, you can interact. You come here for learning, am I right? So learning can happen better if you actually, share your thoughts. So far good? Good or bad? Or any questions? Okay, I get one response, right? I have to pull the response, right? Now, quality progress timeline. How all these concepts evolved. Now there are many things people talk about, not only, Lean and Six Sigma, there are many things, but I'm going to orient all your thinking towards Lean and Six Sigma only, right? Long back, quality was called as artisan era. Quality was considered to be the skill of the operator. The craftsman's skill is considered the quality. If the person involved in the job, if he is skilled, then quality is assured. Those days are called the olden days. And then slowly what happened? The concept of interchangeable parts came. You know what is interchangeable parts? I have 10 machines. I produce products. Let's say I produce nuts and bolts, right? From all 10 machines. Whatever nuts I produce from machine number 1 can connect very well with the nuts I have produced from machine number 10. So no matter from which machine, right, from which particular plant you have produced a product, a particular element of your product, but still you can assemble them and then make it as a complete product. So that's called concept of interchangeable parts. So these lead to an era called the artisan era, and that is what we call it as Industry 1.0, right? Industry 1.0 means quality is considered to be the skill of the operator, and then slowly the upgradation is towards interchangeable parts. Different operator comes, different machineries comes, but still they expected the same result. That's concept of interchangeability. And then companies moved on to the next stage. What is next stage? They started measuring the characteristics of the product. They started measuring the characteristics of the product before sending it to the market. You call it quality control, right? They started using the gauges, vernier caliper, dial gauge, this and that. There are many things you use, and then you check the characteristics of the product. If the characteristics are not as per the spec, then you reject it internally, isn't it? And that is called quality control. And that can be considered as Industry 2.0. At the same time only, the Ford assembly line concept also came. Ford, we all know, the US-based company, and famous for mass producing the automobiles, isn't it? And they introduced the assembly line concept. What is assembly line concept? Earlier, the operators were moving from one station to other station to work on the, let's say, car manufacturing or whatever manufacturing they are connected with. And Ford came up with a new concept where people don't have to move from their places. That's what we all have been currently following. Operators stay in their place. Rather, the product line will keep moving, isn't it? That means your employees, the people they don't have to put a lot of effort, put minimum effort. At the same time, they will be able to produce the results effectively and at the same time in an efficient manner. So such an assembly line model also came. So this period was considered as Industry 2.0. And then Industry 3.0. What is Industry 3.0? The quality control. What are we doing in quality control? We are only checking. By checking, what do we achieve? We are able to contain a problem within our factory. That's what we are doing. We are only detecting the problem and then see to that problems are contained at a particular stage. We don't allow the problems to go beyond. But what is required? You just wanted to detect the problem, or you also wanted to solve the problem. It's very important. We not only detect the problem, we also solve the problem, that too at the root level, so that the problem cannot even happen again. So once the organization started realizing that, so particularly all these things happened, particularly in the Japanese industries, and that has gave birth to the concept called lean. Originally, it was actually Toyoto, the company Toyoto, which has modified the Ford's assembly line concept and then made it suitable to the Japan market. The US market was so big, that means mass production will be the best option, but the Japan market was not so big, but the customers, the people there in Japan, they expected different varieties. So flexibility is required. At the same time, your market size is low. So that that made the Japanese industries to think something called batch production. Batch production with the flexibility to switch from one product to other product based on the requirement in the market. And they called that approach as Toyota production system. That has helped Toyota achieve fantastic results. Lot of best in class quality. At the same time, the operational cost was very low, and that has captured the attention of all the other industries across the globe. And so everybody wanted to adopt the Toyota's TPS, Toyota production system. So in order to felicitate, or in order to in fact make the industries use the TPM principles and the tools, the method was renamed as lean, and now all of us are using, right? And sometime later in 1980s, the US market or the industries in US were facing tough competition from Japan. In fact, the Japanese initially, they learned a lot of things from the US only, isn't it? Including the Ford assembly line. So they learned from US, and then they were now able to give a tough competition to the US industries, and particularly the Motorola, which was a US based company involved in manufacturing electronic gadgets and other things, So they were suffering, facing a serious issue in terms of the quality levels, and particularly the competition from the Japanese industries. They were not able to, compete with them, and they understood that their quality is stinking, and then their market is going down, and so they wanted to come out of it. So that gave that urgency to improve the quality, that sense of urgency to improve the quality at Motorola gave birth to a unique approach, methodology, a philosophy called Six Sigma. And now it is very popular across the globe, not only in US, right? There are strong reasons why lean is popular today. There are strong reasons why Six Sigma is popular, and this period is called Industry 3.0. In my opinion, any organization will undergo these transformation. Organization undergo transformation means the people in the organization will undergo transformation. Initially, they will think about the skill, machineries, technology. Then they realize there has to be reliance on the QC tools, quality control activities, and then they will start thinking about the best in class quality, effectiveness, and efficiency. Then they will come to. So this is called the maturity level. Not every industry can quickly understand, yes, Lean Six Sigma is required for my company. It is absolutely required. But then it takes time for the organization to understand. The organization has to learn from the failures. For that, any organization will spend considerable amount of time. But if the leaders in the organization, if the steering committee in the organization could understand that, learning these learnings have to happen, in a shortest possible time, then organization will quickly adopt, embrace Lean and Six Sigma and equip their people, and then they will start, attaining their organization level goals. And then the next step becomes possible. What is next step? Industry 4.0. Now your processes are really equipped, made capable, operating at highest levels of efficiency. Now you think of automating them. Now you think of digitizing some of them. The automation, digitization, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and all those things comes under Industry 4.0, right? But without going through this transformation, jumping to directly, sometimes can make your, can produce damaging results. All right, hope you understood how this transformation works. So 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. All right. So the history behind lean. So in 1926, Sakichi Toyoto, that time Toyoto was into loom works, right? They were into garments, and then they realized that no, there is a good market exists in the automotive domain. So he converted the Toyoto into Toyoto Automotive, right? In 1926. And somewhere around 1950, Eiji Toyoto, the nephew of Sakichi, right? He visited Ford to study their best practices, particularly the assembly line concept. And then he came back, customized it. While customizing the Ford best practices, why he is customizing? Because he wanted to ensure the practices suits the Japan market. So he collaborated with the experts like Taichi Ono. We all know Taichi Ono, isn't it? The one of the quality guru who introduced the concept of 7 waste. And also there is one more quality guru who introduced the concept called mistake proofing. Okay. So you can see them here. Eiji Toyoto, Taichi Ono, and this is called Shigeo Shingo. He is the one who introduced the mistake proofing systems. Right. So by collaborating with all these people, they developed a unique system for Toyoto, and the core principles are right sizing the machine, right sizing the resources. Never provide the resources more than the required level. Self-monitoring machines. Imagine a car that can demand for adjusting the tire pressure, that can demand for maintenance, that can demand for the cleaning and other things, right? That means your equipments are able to monitor its health on its own, right? Some signal, some trigger happens within the system, self-monitoring machine. And as a result, the outcome is you can produce faster. At the same time, the cost associated can be low, and it can also assure the highest levels of quality. And most importantly, you will be able to produce higher in variety. For a single particular model of a car, right? You will have 2-3 variants, right? And all those things are possible. Since the Toyota production system garnered the global attention, and therefore it was studied by the management gurus across the globe, and finally they thought that this should be adopted in all industries, irrespective of their product and services, whatever industry you belong to. As long as a process exists, yes, there is a scope for implementing the Toyota production system. And so they gave a new name to that approach called lean. Lean in plain English, it means thin. Run your process in a thin manner. That means simplify your process. There is no point of there is no benefit of complicating a process and then making your employees to struggle to run the process. What are you going to achieve? Rather, simplify the process. People can effortlessly execute your process and then produce the results for the organization. That thinking is called lean. Hope all of you understood how the birth of lean, right? So 1960 it happened. Toyota Motor Corporation, and these are the originators, right? And then Toyota believed in 4 important principles. The first principle, philosophy is the foundation. What is their philosophy? Creating value for people. Who are the people? Customer, employees, society, the business, the organization itself, all the stakeholder, your shareholder, right? So create organization, main philosophy, the foundational philosophy is creating value for people. All their decisions are based on creating value for people. If they are able to get a business but which is harmful to the society, then the organization will not involve in such business, right? So the foundation philosophy is creating value for people. All the decisions are based on it. And principle number 2, Right process will produce the right result. Right process will produce right result. And philosophy number 3, develop people and partners. Again, people, the employees. Make your employees effective. They will make the organizations effective. Make your suppliers effective. Make your vendors effective. Because they are providing you, the child parts, they are providing you the raw material, they are providing you certain services. Why don't you, equip all of them? Because their quality matters to your quality. But finally, you are responsible for the overall quality. So the third principle is never forget to develop people and partners. Fourth principle, systematically solve the problems that are currently existing and systematically prevent the problems that can occur in the future. There has to be some corrective action. There has to be some preventive action. Solve the problem in such a way that you always address the problem at the root level. This is called systematic problem solving. One day, definitely, your organization will become, failure-free processes. Your processes will never fail. Under such situation, your products will definitely be defect-free, right? So these are the 4 important principles behind Toyoto production system. The same principles were, applicable to Lean also. Hope all of you understood these 4 principles. All right. Now, this is called House of Toyoto production system. On top of the house, what do you see? High quality products, lower cost, shortest lead time. The minute the customer orders the product, the next minute the item is delivered. How it happens? You have to look at the system inside, right? People are empowered employees. People, are empowered to take decision, right? In the interest of the stakeholders, and then best safety is ensured, higher morale is ensured. So all these benefits the organization is reaping because of, the Toyoto production system. What is there in the foundation? Philosophy. What is philosophy? Creating value for people. If I am doing some work which my people are not able to find it valuable, do you think I will continue doing it? I will stop doing it because there is no value in it. This is called Toyoto production system. This is called Lean. And now the next layer of foundation, Heijunka. What is Heijunka? Leveling the load. Leveling the load. There is a customer order coming. I have 3 lines. Line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. What do you think? How do I produce the product? There is an order. Should I run the line 1 and produce all the item and supply to the customer? Or should I run line 2? Or should I run line 3? Or should I run all the 3 lines together? Which will be faster? Isn't it? So if I run all the 3 together, I will be able to produce faster. As a result, the lead time between order and delivery can come down. As a result, the number of business cycles can multiply, and which is very important for any business, isn't it? So that is called Heijunka. Stable and standardized process. Stable and standardized process. Your process output should be consistent. The capability should be, at the same level, right? And you need to standardize, because when you actually initially develop processes, there will be failures. There will be a lot of learnings from the failure. All the learnings, you must feed it back to the process. Thereby, when the same process is executed in the future, the same failure will not happen, right? All the learnings from the failures should be fed back into the system. And for that, standardization of the process is very important, right? So the standardization helps in stabilizing your result and then continuous improvement. And this, whatever we are speaking, though I say you solve the problem and improve the process, this is going to be an ongoing activity. Starting from the CEO until the security in the gate, and everybody should understand that there is enormous scope exists for continuously improving the business processes, right? And that is called Kaizen. And then you have 2 pillars. one pillar on the left and one pillar on the right. The focus of the left side pillar is just in time. What is just in time? When an order comes, it will be processed, delivered. No order comes, no processing, no running of the machine, and no production. This is called just in time. So just in time is possible only when your flow is continuous. Only when your cycle time of all the processes that you run in your company are lower than the takt time. Lower than the takt time. And only when your system is full. Full means somebody should demand, then only I'll do the work. Only when you ask a question, then I give the answer. Isn't it? So that is called a pull. And then quick changeover. What is quick changeover? I have been producing product A, maybe variant A, and now the market demand is variant B. Now I should quickly change from producing A to B. How much time my organization, my plant is taking to change from A to B? That's called changeover time. If you take more changeover time, then probably the customer will preferably go to some competitor in between. So if you really wanted to avoid, then you should be able to make quick changeovers. All right. So there are plenty of tools Toyota production system has developed to achieve all these things happening in the organization. As a result, you can call your philosophy as just in time. On the other hand, Jidoka. Jidoka is visualization. For example, 5S is a visualization technique. We keep organization neat, clean. We keep raw material. We keep machineries. We keep components. We keep everything neat, clean, organized manner. Any problem can quickly come to the surface. How the problem come to the surface? Because of visualization. If everything is in a jumbled order, right? And then any problem that is there in a factory, do you think that will appear immediately? No. A tool which was missing in its place, people come to know only after 6 months. Oh, the tool was missing. The workplace, if it is poorly organized, if the visualization is very poor, then problem will never come to the surface. Only failures will frequently come to the surface, but not the real problem sources. So tools like built-in quality, hand-in, error proofing, and so all these things will help in achieving Jidoka. These are all Japanese words, right? And then teamwork, waste reduction, and all these things, continuous improvement projects, if you do, the results can be achieved, right? This is, in essence, Toyota production system. Hope all of you understand what is Toyota production system. Clear? Are we good so far? Some response?
Yes, very good.
Wow, fantastic. Right, now I have few questions. What are the 4 guiding principles of Toyota production system? What is that we discussed? Yes. What are the 4 principles of Toyota production system? What is the first one? Come on, you need to recall. What is the first one?
Correct tool at correct time.
Yes, the first one is philosophy is the foundation. Create value for people, isn't it? And the second one, the right process will produce right result. That means your approach is process-centric, right? You are not result-oriented. You are not people-centric. You are process-centric organization. And principle number 3, add value by developing people and partners. And then principle number 4, problem solving. And this is where comes problem solving methodologies. And that's created the need for methodology superior than lean. What is superior problem solving methodology than lean? Lean as such do not have any methodology. We need to understand lean sometimes adopts PDCA, sometimes adopts any other methodology, right? Which the organization is familiar. But the very effective methodology for problem solving is Six Sigma methodology, right? And nowadays, Lean also adopts the methodology recommended by Six Sigma, which is DMAC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. Define your problem, measure your problem, analyze the process for the root cause, then improve the process by optimizing the root cause, then control the process to take care of your future results, right? So this is DMAC. And so whether it is Six Sigma or Lean Six Sigma, all of them will follow a methodology, unique methodology called DMAC, right? And then what are the two pillars of Toyota production system, the left and right? Do you remember? One I have shown on the left side is just in time. The other one on the right side is Judoka. The foundation also, I hope you all remember. So in essence, what is lean? Lean is all about identifying all the non-value adding activities. The focus is on creating value to customer. Then why are you doing certain work which are not adding value? Consider eliminating. Consider eliminating, right? If your customer doesn't like the way you are doing the work, it is better to stop doing that work. Though you may be great. Still, if the customer doesn't expect you to do that way, what should be your take in it? You must decide to change it, isn't it? So identify the wasteful activities, non-value adding activities, right? To eliminate them. If elimination is not possible, try to reduce them. As a result, your process will get simplified. If the process gets simplified, lead time will come down. Am I correct or not? If you simplify a process, what will happen to the time required to execute the process? It will come down as the lead time reduces. As the lead time reduces, customer don't have to wait for a longer time to get their order processed. As a result, the process cycle efficiency will improve. We might see, if you consider some of the world-class manufacturers, their process cycle efficiency will be approximately around 20%. And this is statistics, right? The study says that the world-class manufacturer, they maintain a process cycle efficiency of around 20%. That means 80% is still 80% of the work, 80% of the activities that they do in the business process are still non-value adding. In plain English, they are still they are wasteful activities. Just by achieving an efficiency of 20% and above, you can climb to be a world-class manufacturer. All right. So lean is not about cost cutting. Lean is not about eliminating people. Many people misinterpret the lean thinking, right? So lean is process simplification. Imagine you driving a brand new car in a traffic environment like this. There are two things important. You are driving comfort, definitely at its worst. Another thing, the performance of the car, for sure, that will also be at its worst, right? So without changing the driver, without changing the vehicle, bring both of them here in an environment like this. Now, what is changed? The people are same, the equipments are same, everything is same. But we changed the environment, we changed their mindset, educate them properly, and make them understand the concepts of lean. Now, the same car, they can drive effortlessly. At the same time, the performance of the car can multiply like anything. Hope all of you understand what the lean principles and tools and techniques can do for your organization if they are used with the proper understanding. Finally, you can make the right choice. Right? There are so many tools Lean Kit offers, right? And I'll be explaining you each and everything inside our Six Sigma Green Belt or a Black Belt training program. Our upcoming Black Belt training program is scheduled on April 9th. On the same day, we have also scheduled a Six Sigma Green Belt training program. So what is this 7 waste and what is this 5S, the visual management, workplace organizing tool, and small improvement projects? How can you take it up in your organization? The case and SMED, how to make quick changeovers in your organization. Kanban, how to convert a push-based system into pull-based, and then value stream mapping, how to visualize a complex process, and thereby you get a clarity of what is actually adding value and what activities are not adding value. And whatever activity is not adding value, we remove. Whatever activity is adding value, we will try to reduce their cycle time. As a result, your organization becomes super efficient. And then TPM, total productive maintenance, how the equipments have to be taken care, all the machineries, right? And at the down level, at the executive level, and at the maintenance point of view, how they need to be taken care to the level that the poor maintenance of the equipment never become a reason for the quality issues in your product. That is called TPM. Everyone will be involved in the maintenance of the equipment, right? Not just the maintenance department. And then 3M. 3M again, the Japanese word. Muda, Mura, and Muri. Muda is any wasteful activities. Mura is unevenness, right? Unevenness, any form of unevenness, right? And then Muri, overburdening, right? And a crane which is capable of lifting 1 ton should be used only up to 1 ton. If you use the crane to lift 1.5 ton, what will happen? That will lead to a failure, isn't it? So we should never, have mudas or muras or muris in any business process, right? There's understanding, and then elimination of all these things will eventually make your business process effective as well as efficient. So this question I already asked. Any question here? Parveen, do you have a question? Do you want to ask? You raise your hand. Feel free to ask your question if you have. Sanjita, Parveen, you raised the hand, or is there a question you want to ask? No? All right. So excessive movement of people. If people are moving excessively, I don't know why people are moving excessively. Maybe the layout is designed bad. Some other reason. What is this called? What is this waste called? Is it the waste? Am I correct? If people are moving excessively,
Yes.
yes, it is a waste. What it is?
Motion.
It is called motion waste. Very good. Good. Longer setup time is an example of cost of good quality or cost of poor quality.
Cost of poor quality.
Very good. Fantastic. Now, shall we try to understand the history of Six Sigma also? Shall we go for it? All of you are ready?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So somewhere around 1980s, Motorola, a US-based company, they were manufacturing the electronic gadgets, and one of their division was manufacturing televisions in the brand name called User. There were a lot of quality issues. The quality levels were gradually going down. If the quality levels gradually goes down, you know what will happen? There will be field failures. The field failures are called the external failures, isn't it? External failures can be catastrophic, isn't it? Can completely damage the company. So such things were happening. There were a lot of warranty claims. The television sets were failing well before the warranty period. So the company has to do everything to set things right. There has to be service. There has to be replacement. Claims have to be settled. Why all these external failures are happening? They failed to control the internal failures. The same thing is true for any organization. If you fail to detect and control the internal failures, these external failures will happen. This was happening in Motorola, and then Motorola has no option except to sell this brand. And a Japanese firm took over. A Japanese firm took over the same brand, User. And then that time the Japanese were using a model called Kaizen business model. And they knew all these things, the quality principles and all this process-centric approach, right? Their learnings from the best practices really helped them to have a systematic approach, and then they made the same brand successful, right? They made the same brand successful, and seeing the success of and now today it is called Panasonic, and seeing the success of User in the hands of the Japanese firm. So Motorola realized one thing, particularly the CEO of Motorola, Bob Galvin. Problem is not only with the quality of the product, but also with the approach the organization has towards quality, right? Our people have to be, equipped much more than what they are today. And then only, these kind of failures can be prevented in the future. And so the responsibilities to improve the company, a tenfold growth in the next five years was given to two gentlemen. One is Bill Smith, who is an engineer like all of you. And another person, Dr. Michael Harry, who is a statistician, right? This combination of engineering and statistical brain helped Motorola, to climb the ladders, right? From falling down to a very good rise in the market, right? And these two, both of them, they adopted a lot of statistical approach, particularly a concept called normal distribution, which I will be talking to all of you in the next part of this class. Any process in this universe, right? Any process in this universe mostly will follow a specific pattern, a specific rhythm you can expect from most of the processes, particularly the natural processes in this universe. And when you visualize the process, it will resemble a bell shape. Such a distribution is called normal distribution. The moment you are able to understand the pattern, the moment you are able to understand the nature of the distribution, your process becomes predictable. That means what is going to happen in the future, you can predict based on what has happened already and what is currently happening. Based on the past and the present, the future can be predicted. This is called, the statistics, a number game. Playing with the numbers, understand the distribution, and then take effective decision, right? And this is very, very important. Decision making is very important if you want to be systematic in your organization, right? So these two gentlemen, Bill Smith and Michael Harry, right? And Bill Smith, today we call him as father of Six Sigma. There is a reason behind. Together, they developed a statistical approach, a metric-based system for Motorola, and that helped them, improve the quality levels in their product by solving all the process failures. For solving all the process failures, they also developed a 4-phase methodology. What methodology? 4-phase methodology. Measure, analyze, improve, control. They started with measure because they knew that what gets measured gets improved. So they started with measure, then moved on to analyze, moved on to improve, and then moved on to control. By having this unique 4-phase methodology, they were able to solve all the process-related failures one after the other, and then eventually that made their processes failure-free. The same has helped their organization produce defect-free products, and that's how Motorola's products become very popular. And see, he's the gentleman, Carl Friedrich Gauss, a German mathematician. He is the one who introduced the theory of normal distribution, how this universe is functioning, right? There are plenty of data we collect from space, we collect from the climatic conditions. Similarly, if you also collect data from your business process, you will realize your data is following a specific pattern, a specific distribution. By understanding the nature of the distribution, you can predict on what is going to happen from your business process in the near future or even in a long term. That all depends on the quality of the data that you have in your hand. So the data-centric, process-centric, and a methodical approach towards quality is nothing but Six Sigma. So these two people, they named the methodology as Six Sigma methodology. You know why? According to the theory of normal distribution, if you center your process at a point, which is at a distance of 6 sigma units from the nearest rejection point, from the nearest rejection limit, your process will start producing defect-free products. This statement will be very difficult to understand. I'm sure none of you could have understood. I'll repeat the statement for you, but definitely I'll make it very clear, very, very clear tomorrow. If you center your business process at a point 6 sigma distance from the nearest rejection limit. What is rejection limit? Your customer will always give tolerance, isn't it? Customer, for example, a dimension 100 mm plus or minus 0.5. Now, what is the upper limit? 100.5. What is the lower limit? 99.5. Anything beyond these limits, your customer is going to reject. Now, where should you center your process? You center your process on the target. Then what is the target? 100. Now, if you are centering your process on the target, which is 100, the distance of 100 from the nearest rejection limit, what is a rejection limit? 100.5. If the distance between 100 and 100.5, how much it is? 0.5. If this 0.5 can be equated to 6 times sigma of your process data, your process will be called Six Sigma process. Under such situation, your process will definitely start producing defect-free products. If at all there are any defects, it is estimated that the number of defects will be limited to 3.4 DPMO. Just 3.4 defects per million opportunities. So what is this 3.4 DPMO? What is this sigma and why it is 6 sigma? You get a clear picture if you sit in my next class, right? And for that, some commitment is required. You need to take a little more interest to listen to me, and so that I can actually teach you this little stats behind that, and then you will be able to appreciate why it is called Six Sigma. So these initiatives by so many projects, so many improvement projects in the manufacturing as well as non-manufacturing areas within Motorola helped Motorola save $16 billion within a span of 5 years, right? And then in 1988, Motorola was also awarded Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award for the best practices they had in the factory, right? And it is for that reason Bill Smith is known as father of Six Sigma, right? And after the demise of Smith, of course, he left in a very young age, and then it is Dr. Michael Harry popularized Six Sigma, right? It is Michael Harry who popularized Six Sigma, and Motorola created a university for to just train their own employees, right? Just to train their own employees, Motorola University was created because they realized that this learning is very, very essential to all the professionals, including each one of you. Without this learning, people really cannot contribute to the organization, towards attaining the organization goals. You may be doing your work, but how can you actually use your potential to contribute to the organization's growth? And that is measured in terms of the different belt levels. That was created by Michael Harry. White belt, yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt, champion, and sponsor. There are several steps. You can move slowly, but what is important is you must start moving, isn't it? So what is white belt and what is yellow belt and everything you will be learning if you actually spend more time with me. You decide to spend more time with me, right? So this is the journey of Motorola, and somewhere 1988, the 87 Six Sigma methodology has born from Six Sigma, and then 88 they received the Malcolm Baldrige Award, and 89 Six Sigma became very, very popular, and seeing the success of Motorola, all the other companies, today you name all the big brands, yes, they will be talking about Six Sigma. If all of you are seriously interested in contributing to the growth of such bigger brands, that means you wanted to be inside, it is absolutely essential that you see yourself as a green belt or a black belt, without which, and it is difficult to enter into such environments, right? And so 1995, General Electric also adopted, but one beautiful thing happened when General Electric adopted it. The 4-phase methodology of Six Sigma, MAC, was converted into DMAC, 1995. Today, 2022, we are trying to understand this DMAC methodology, and we'll be talking about it, right? So according to the Six Sigma concept, Six Sigma is a management philosophy. It's a data-driven philosophy. See here, this is the normal distribution, a bell shape. This process is in bell shape. This process is also in bell shape. In fact, any process will be in bell shape. All that required is a normal data, right? So now this process is wider. This process is narrower. Now comes the customer rejection limits. We call them specification limit. For the same specification limits, see here USL and LSL. This process will have a lot of rejection for the reason that the process is wider. For the same specification limit, this process will not produce any defects for the reason the process is not narrower. Process is not wider, it is narrower. So running a narrower process is good for your company and can ensure defective products are not produced from the process. If you want to see your processes narrower, then the standard deviation in your data, which is sigma, should be small enough. If sigma is small enough, the capability of your process will be higher. As a result, there will be less defects, less wastage, less rework, and process will become predictable. Results will become consistent and happy customers. Right? So that means any business problem in any organization can be comfortably converted into a statistical problem. As a consultant, if you are producing any product or any service, for me, I'll see the problems using certain numbers, statistical numbers, right? So a real-time problem can become a statistical problem. Just by learning the Six Sigma methodology, you become eligible to apply for the job roles in any segment. You are a doctor, but you wanted to join an automotive industry, it will become possible. You are a mechanical engineer, now you wanted to work in a big group of hospital, yes, it is possible. You wanted to be a part of the process excellence team in a pharmaceutical industry, yes, it is possible. Of course, I'm not saying that domain knowledge is not required, but when you club the domain knowledge with the statistical knowledge, you become super successful immediately, right? People will start seeing you as a leader, right? So real-time problem can be converted into a statistical problem, and statistical problem, a statistical solution exists. And how do you achieve statistical solution? By offering a practical solution. This is what is the background behind Six Sigma methodology. So Six Sigma is essentially a metric that measures your process capability, right? If the Sigma levels are high, then defects will be fewer. If Sigma levels are low, then defects will be higher, right? And Six Sigma is a methodology. It gives a methodology called DMAC. If a process exists, it gives a methodology called DMAC. If a process doesn't exist, again, it gives another methodology called DMAD-V, right? And Six Sigma is a way of management. You can guide people very effectively. You are not only guiding people, you are leading people, isn't it? You show them the clear way. This is how a problem should be solved. This is how we can make our customers happy. This is how we can maximize the profit in the organization. So Six Sigma is a way of management. Six Sigma is a philosophy. If understood, you will see to that you can apply your learnings wherever you want, including your personal life, right? So ultimately, it's a methodology, way of management, and it can be applied across all industries. So what is defined? Express your problem in terms of numbers. If you are not able to express a problem in terms of number, please understand you do not know what is the problem. If you don't even know what is the problem, how are you going to solve it? So that's why General Electric introduced this phase. Express your problem in terms of numbers. If you're not able to do it, you should not proceed further. The first step in problem solving is define your problem in the form of a number. Then you measure it. Defining problem in number means you are making it measurable. When you are measuring, the problem is people always measure with error. There are several reasons. They don't know how to measure, or the equipments are bad, or the instructions are bad, or the environment is bad. People always measure with the error. When you measure with the error, how do you understand the intensity of the problem? The intensity will project it wrongly. A small problem will look bigger, a big problem will look smaller. Will you be able to solve under such conditions? Definitely no. It's very important you get a clear picture of the problem. You get a correct intensity of the problem. So the baseline performance can be correctly understood only when you learn to collect data without error. So measurement system analysis comes into picture. Validating measurement system is very important. That is what we will be teaching you. You will be learning in the measure phase. So you learn to collect error-free data to understand the clear picture of the baseline. Now the baseline is available. Target is set in the define phase. The gap in performance becomes the candidate for the analyze phase. Why there is a gap in the performance? What is the root of the problem? I want to see the root of the problem. I also need an evidence for to say that this is the root of the problem. Without evidence, do you think the organization will allow you to make whatever changes you wanted to make? No organization will believe all the statements and all the time. Particularly when the organization mature enough, you should be able to justify any claim that is coming. As a subject matter expert, this is the cause, but still your boss may not be a subject matter expert. Then how will you convince him? You require data. You will have to statistically validate the claim to get a buy-in of the management, buy-in of your boss to make changes in the process. We will not only teach you the fundamental why analysis and fundamental cause and effect analysis, we will also teach you the statistical way of validating the root cause in the analysis phase, which is very, very important, particularly when you are dealing with a critical problem, when you are dealing with improving a critical process. These steps must be followed. You just cannot, violate this sequence or miss to run any of this phase. And so you validate the root cause. Now you are really in a good position to talk about the solution to the problem. In my opinion, if you don't go through define, measure, and analyze space properly, you are not even fit to talk about the solution. But having defined the problem, having measured the problem, having analyzed the process for the root cause, you can now really talk about the solution. What is solution? Providing a treatment. In medical world, people use the word treatment. Same way, in statistics, optimizing the input factor. See, the output factor is the problem, which is Y variable. Now we shifted our focus from Y variable to X variable. I now optimize the X variable so that my Y variable will get optimized. I will continue to see that my X stays at the optimized level so that my Y will also stays at the desired level. This is called control. A matured way of looking at problems. I would say it can also be used as a research methodology. Even if you are a researcher, you can use this methodology and it can direct you very well. So you will get most out of out of your efforts. So this is called Six Sigma methodology. So any Six Sigma project will have about near about 32 activities, right? 32 activities, and all of them are listed here, right? But we are going to make you learn all these important events in the project perfectly. For that, we are going to teach you on the DMAC methodology in a step-by-step method, like hand holding a child. Every phase has been carefully broken down into 3 simple steps. Define phase. What is define phase? First, you must identify a project which the organization really want to solve, right? And then you need to prioritize projects. If there are many projects, how are you going to prioritize, right? And then you need to create a complete plan. A little bit of project management knowledge is also now required. You need to create a project proposal which can immediately convince the boss or the management. We are going to call him the sponsor. And so what happens? Your project comes into life. So the main outcome of the define phase is approved project charter. And now the journey continues. Measure, there are 3 steps. Analyze, there are 3 steps. Improve, there are 3 steps. Control, there are 3 steps. So your learning journey with us is going to be 15 simple steps to systematically eliminate the defects as well as the waste, isn't it? You really see yourself as a pro in solving the quality problems. So white belt, the fundamental level. In my opinion, you're already white belt. You got the foundations of Lean, Six Sigma, the background history, everything was known to you. I'm sure by now you will definitely be able to understand that your organization too deserves the principles and tools and techniques of powerful Lean and Six Sigma approach, isn't it? If you come to such a conclusion, then today itself you are a white belt. But as I already mentioned, in order to keep the standards very high, you can certify yourself as a white belt from our organization by attending one more session, right? That one more session is not going to be free like this. You need to take a small step. For that, my team could have shared a link for white belt program. You just have to open the link and then you need to pay a small fees, and so that you can be part of my next class. And then I'll see to that you understand much more information about the Lean as well as Six Sigma, particularly the important question of why it is Six Sigma, why not 7 Sigma, or why not 5 Sigma. You will gain absolute clarity, and then over and above, you will also get a white belt certification. But becoming a white belt is not enough to participate in a project. You need to go to the next level, which is yellow belt. Once you become a yellow belt, now you are at the intermediate level. You need to be assisted by green belts to do each and every activity in the project. Of course, you will be helpful, to the green belts who are the team members. But if you want to be a effective team member, or you wanted to lead a project, you need to be at least a green belt. In my opinion, all of you can consider joining our green belt program directly. All the modules of white belt, particularly all the modules of yellow belt, will be covered inside the green belt. So you can save your time as well as some considerable amount of money by making this jump directly to green belt. If you have 5+ years of experience, have some little additional knowledge on how projects happens, the challenges while doing a project in an organization, then you can consider joining a black belt. Or if you are a green belt already, that's well and good, right? Or as the conditions are met, you can join a black belt. Now you will be able to handle even complex projects. You will now be able to handle even cross-functional project. That's the difference between a green belt and a black belt. Green belt can handle only the problems within his own department. But as a black belt, you can even handle cross-functional problems, cross-functional projects. And if you consider green belt as 1 in 100, then the black belts will be 1 in 200. And master black belt will be 1 in the whole organization. You can have a bigger vision of becoming a master black belt, and that means your entire company can rely on your direction. You become the best advisor to the top man in the company, and you will drive the company towards the strategic direction. And then you will be the person who will be developing the KPIs and the metrics at the organization level, department level, as well as at the functional level. And then in order to see to that every project deliver result, there will be some top management roles. We call it champion and sponsor. Sponsor is the person who gives the authority, the approval to execute the project. And champion is the person who see to that the team actually executes the project as per the approval. And if any challenges, blockages, the champion will come into picture. This kind of infrastructure is absolutely essential for the success of project. Otherwise, the projects can only be a discussion, can only be a document, and there won't be any real-time results. So I have a few questions here. People can answer. We'll close the session in another 5 or 10 minutes. Who is known as father of Six Sigma? Do you have the answer by now? Would you like to answer this? It's not a tough question, right? Now, who is the answer? The father of Six Sigma is? You want me to answer? Right?
Bill Smith.
Wow, beautiful. And how many phases Six Sigma methodology has got? Very good, very good. Correct. And how many phases Six Sigma methodology has got?
5.
Very good. 5 phases. Fantastic. A white belt is one who understands the importance of having systems and process approach towards quality. Am I correct or wrong? If all of you believe that your organization should be process-centric and system-based, then that itself is good enough to call you as white belt. And yellow belt can lead project. Is it true or false?
False.
Right? Because yellow belt need the assistance of green belts. A green belt can lead Six Sigma project. Can this statement be true?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Definitely true, right? Very good. You have been following. The focus of lean is to reduce waste, reduce defects, and then reduce variation. What is your option?
Reduce waste.
Reduce waste.
Very good. Beautiful. Focus of Six Sigma is to reduce defects, reduce waste, reduce inventory.
Reduce defects.
Very good, right? Fantastic. So these are the things we learned. Operational excellence is performing better than the competitors in the market. Always we should keep an eye on the market, see to that we are effective as well as efficient, better than the competitor. We need to run faster than our competitors if we really wanted to win the game, isn't it? And then quality customer requirement consistently. KPI, key performance indicators, helps help us to monitor and improve our performance to meet and meet the quality. See, quality is always function of requirement, process requirement, and employee requirement. Understanding all these requirements is the starting point to quality. Without even understanding the customer requirement, process requirement, and employees requirement, if you talk about quality, you continue talking and quality will never happen, right? And 4 P's of Toyoto production system: philosophy, process, people, and problem solving. Eliminate all wasteful activities and prevent defects using Six Sigma. So Lean Six Sigma as operational excellence model will definitely improve the quality, reduce the cost, and the lead time to delivery. Lean tools, there are so many tools we talked about, and you can actually master. In fact, we do run several courses. One such course is Lean Champion, right? Where we will be focusing fully on all the lean tools. Lean, the learning curve is very short, right? You can quickly learn and then you can quickly adopt. And Six Sigma tools, it involves a collection of so many skills. You don't have to run here and there. Somebody thinks project management will definitely help you grow in the career. Somebody thinks you have to join some leadership program to. You don't have to run here and there. Join one single course, because it is an integration of all the skills that are required for organizational success. So organization will definitely see you as an asset. And ultimately, use appropriate tools and methods to correct as well as prevent problems in your organization. All right. So the learning pedagogy, what we follow is is truly aligning with the learning circle. If you decide to come out of the comfort zone, and that we are there to definitely help you. You will learn new things. When you learn new things, you know what will happen? You will grow. Whatever level you are currently, it's not the destination. You need to grow further. So new learnings are absolutely essential for your growth from what you are today. And what is much more important is you not only learn and learn, you must practice. There are many people who simply crazy of getting a certificate, and getting a certificate is not the ultimate goal. Your goal must be to put all your learnings in practice, right? We adequately support our alumni when they are actually desiring to practice all their learning. And what is much more important than just practicing is reflecting your problems back to the mentor, right? You need to openly discuss your failures, your challenges, so that mentor can start coaching you now. So far is only training. What is required is some coaching and some motivations. So those things are required. So we respect all those principles. So what happened? You continue to learn from us, not just during the training period, but even post completion of the training period. And then when you continue to practice, you realize you started practicing very well and you make less mistakes. There is no one in this world who is 100% perfect, right? Making fewer mistakes is absolutely fine. That means you have acquired the required competency for the certification you are holding. That means you are again going back to your comfort zone with the required level of confidence. This is the training pedagogy we strongly believe in, right? And this is the kind of certificate which you will be getting. Our next batch, and not March, our next batch starts on April 9th. And there are limited seats we generally allow. And that too with certain offers to the initial registration. Those of you who are seriously interested in undergoing a world-class training program with absolute learning of the entire body of knowledge, you are talking to the right person and you are in the right platform. Don't generally certain things we do only once in a life. For example, the Six Sigma certification, I've seen many people just do it once. If you want to make it the best one for you, you can ask our team on how to enroll for the upcoming Six Sigma batch to be conducted by me. This is Green Belt, and see here, this is the kind of certificate you will get, which is internationally recognized. We have produced more than a few lakhs of people on Green Belt and then the Black Belt. And we have a batch commencing both in the month of April, right? 9th April. Please remember the date. It is 9th April. The other details my team will share you, and this will be the Black Belt. If you are having 5+ years experience, some knowledge on projects, then only you can consider Black Belt. Otherwise, you need to be a Green Belt, right? And I also spoke about White Belt, isn't it? The White Belt certification, it will be offered by Vision Excellence, and the course fees will be 2,360. That means in addition to this class, you need to sit with me one more class. However, having taken the first step, we wanted to respect your effort, respect your time you have spent with me. So we are okay to give you 90% discount on this particular White Belt course. So for that, a link is posted in the chat box, right? Right now, the link will get you the White Belt course for a price of just 236. Those of you who are seriously interested in upgrading you, wanted to lift you to the next level, open the link and see to that you complete the payment and then you are inside my class, right? But those who already have some idea to go for the green or black, please go for it. And then I will implement you. I will invite you to the white belt classroom so that you can be inside my white belt classroom, as well as you will also participate in the green and black belt course, right? There are hundreds of success stories. They've already posted them in our social media pages. I'm not going to read out all these success stories because I'm here to make sure each one of you write your own success story tomorrow, right? After going through our course. And those of you who wanted to validate, cross-verify, our strength, you're most welcome to go through the reviews. And we have been doing this program, these services in online classroom. And those of you who are, who feel that I could be a best fit, Vision Excellence could be a best fit to you and your organization, we are open to collaboration to see to that everyone inside your organization is elevated to the required skill level within the shortest possible time. So you can write to us, you can talk to us for a mutual collaboration. We have been working with hundreds of organizations, right? Hundreds of industries, hundreds of educational institutions. We have been spreading Lean and Six Sigma left and right, right? And you can also join hands with us in meeting our mission to help 1 lakh professionals every single year. That's why this webinar is also part of our mission. And it is also important to come out of the elephant mindset. You know what is elephant mindset? The elephant strongly thinks that it cannot break this small chain. If you look at the weight of the elephant, it is close to a ton, isn't it? But still it believes it cannot break the chain. Same way, we also think sometimes. We think that, we don't have money, we don't have time. Sometimes we even make a bold statement that Lean Six Sigma is not for me. We are definitely going wrong, right? We need to come out of the elephant mindset, and then the right time is this moment. So come out of, wake up, and then start learning right now. Always know the best time is this moment, what we are living in this world. So never miss a big opportunity by having small excuses, because these excuses sometimes may become a big losing to a big opportunity, right? If you think what we are doing is really good for people like you and people and to the society, please do spread the word. And we are available in several platforms. You can follow us, and particularly you can learn from me through my YouTube channel. I am available in this particular thing, right? This is my YouTube channel. The link is also followed. You can learn plenty of content without even enrolling for any course. But joining in a course will definitely show your commitment, and you can definitely accelerate your growth. And as I already mentioned, we are open for any kind of collaboration. And if you have something of that sort in your mind, please do talk to us. And there are any further questions, queries, we are reachable, and these are the numbers. Or any queries you want me to answer, I am ready to spend a few more minutes with all of you to answer your queries. Thank you very much for your patient listening. Though it was a long session, I'm happy to note you people are committed to stay throughout and listen to me throughout. That itself shows you are very unique and special than the ordinary